Welcome back to Mets Daily. I'm your host, Jake Brown, at Jake Brown Radio. Happy Friday, everyone, January 24th, 2025. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button right now on YouTube. It helps the channel. Mets Daily, brand new, 2.5 weeks in. We are over 730 subscribers. I thank you so much for the support. Thanks to you guys, and thanks to Fan Arch for also making this possible. Comment below. Let me know what you think about the show. What else you want to see on the show? We appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button. That's big. Share the channel with all your Mets fan friends and family. Let's get right to it. It's a busy Friday. We waited a while to record because there was new news coming out every 5 minutes in Metsland. And of course, it's all rumors. It's all speculation. But it's all part of the fun of talking Mets baseball here in the hot stove. And the name that's been hot is Pete Alonso. There were conflicting reports on Thursday, back and forth, from New York reporters to Toronto reporters, New York reporters saying, they were at the 10-yard line, the Blue Jays with Pete Alonso, Andy Martino. Then Toronto reporters saying, no, they're not really close, we've heard. So we don't know what's going on there. But the latest report in Pete Alonso land, which, listen, I'm sick and tired of hearing his name. Just sign with someone at this point because it's getting annoying. But I guess it gives us content to talk about. According to my guy, Pat Ragazzo of Sports Illustrated, Pat's getting a lot of love on this show and yesterday, and Pat's been doing a good job on, he's a trustworthy reporter, a young, hungry journalist at Sports Illustrated. So shout out to Pat. Pete Alonso Thursday reportedly met with the Angels. Now, if this guy wants to float into irrelevancy and, not be heard from again, it's a great move for him. If he cares more about warm weather and not winning baseball games, it's a good move for him. He is from Florida. He is used to the warm weather. He did go to school down in Florida, so he could get the beautiful sunshine out in Los Angeles, the Angels of Anaheim. He could play with Mike Trout if Mike Trout ends up ever playing because he's always hurt. And he could be great. The Alonso Foundation, their address is based out of Beverly Hills, is out there in California. So he'd be close to where the foundation is, its home, whatever that means. So, maybe it's a good move for him. The Angels are famous for kind of giving out overpriced contracts. Maybe that he gets the number he wants with the Angels. Boris Corp is out there in L.A. He could be with his agent. They could go golfing together. All could be good and grand. I think the Mets are making it pretty clear here. If he comes at the number that they offered, they'll have him back. If not, see ya. And what makes it even more clear about Pete Alonso and the most recent report that just came in is this. Via Joel Sherman of my old employer, which you all know, earlier this month, the Mets told Mark Vientos and Brett Beatty to begin doing drills at first base as part of their off-season work. What does that tell you? The Mets gave their offer and they stood pat on that. And this is a simpatico ownership GM manager structure where it's not like Woody Johnson where Woody is stepping into Jets football decisions. Cohen, outside of the Soto situation, is not stepping on David Stern's toes. And I think that's how an organization should be run. And that seems to be the case here. The Mets are standing pat on Alonso and telling their guys, hey, internally, we want you to play first base. Now, Mark Vientos, I'll correct myself again. He apparently started 9 games at first. I don't remember those 9 games. I do remember he played some first for the Mets, but he did start 9 games, and he played, I believe, 64 in the minors at first base, so he has some time. Brett Beatty has never played first base. Now, the Brett Beatty name, I'm honestly sick and tired. Does he deserve a shot? Yes. Does he deserve a shot here? Not really. The Mets have Ronnie Mauricio, Luis Angel Acuna, and Mark Vientos. I just don't get where Beatty slots in when he's been terrible defensively and he just hasn't hit enough at the big league level. But they are going to try him at first, so now they have options. Mark Vientos, I see him again probably being the everyday first baseman, but that is very interesting that earlier this month this was told to them. This wasn't like yesterday, it wasn't today. It was weeks ago, apparently, that they were told, hey, get your first base glove, get ready to work because we're going to go internal. And that's very intriguing. If they go external, there's another option that my guy Pat Ragazzo has reported about, and that's Spencer Torkelson. And if you're a average baseball fan, you might not know Spencer Torkelson, and that's fine. I don't think he's a household name. But, an intriguing piece to think about if you're the Mets here. A 2020 first-round pick, got to the big leagues pretty quickly in 2022 for the Detroit Tigers. He is a first baseman. It's the only position he's ever played. And, it's not a move I would hate. Spencer Torkelson is a guy that's under team control for the next 4 years. He's, this year, 2025, he's going to cost you less than $1 million. He's going to be cheap. And look at the numbers here. Now, last year he had a down year. Remember, this guy is, brand new here on the scene. He is 25. He'll turn 26 in August. But look what he did in 2023. And those numbers to you may look similar because they're similar to what Pete Alonso did in 2024. In 2023, Torkelson, 233, 313 OBP, 31 homers, 94 RBIs, 34 doubles. Now, 2024, he was bad. He was not good in a year where the Tigers were contending. And now the Tigers, thinking about putting Colt Keith at first and having Kerry Carpenter at DH, they don't really have a spot for Torkelson, which makes me think they could be open to trading him. And Brett Baty would make a lot of sense because Jace Young is who the Tigers are trying at third base. Maybe they give him a shot at third base, Brett Baty. Maybe it works out in a smaller market like Detroit, or they try Brett Baty in the outfield where he's played a little bit. So Baty and maybe another prospect for Torkelson, to me, makes some sense here. Look at those numbers on the right side of the screen. Let me read you Pete Alonso's stats as you look at those. 34 homers, so just 3 more. 88 RBIs, so 6. Torkelson had 6 more RBIs than Pete did. Now, again, this is 2023 versus 2024, so take it a little bit of a grain of salt. 329 OBP versus 313, 233 average versus 240 average, 31 doubles versus 34 for Spencer Torkelson. While Torkelson will cost you under $1 million, Pete would cost you around $25 million. So this is something to keep in mind here. I don't think Torkelson trade is the worst idea in the world. If it's not going to cost you much in a trade, he's not going to cost you anything financially. That'll still allow you to add bullpen help. It'll still allow you to maybe add a starting pitcher. I still allow you to bring Candelita back. I wouldn't hate a Torkelson trade. Now, I guess 2024 stunk, but I think the kid's got some upside. And, I would give him a shot. Like, give him, you'll have these options internally now. If you have Baty, if you trade Baty, you still have Vientos. You have Joey Meneses in AAA, who I've mentioned. They have other guys internally where you trade for Torkelson. He could be that lightning in a bottle power bat that is really cheap. So, again, we'll see. But an interesting report from Pat Regazzo of Sports Illustrated of, a potential that the Mets are interested in Spencer Torkelson. How about this name that Pat is on a heater right now. This is the Mets Daily Pat Regazzo show. The Mets reportedly, and this might get some people mad, have some interest in a reunion with Max Scherzer. So free agent right-hand pitcher Max Scherzer threw in front of teams at Cressy Sports Performance Pro Day earlier in the week. Regazzo was told scouts like what they saw. The Mets, Yankees, Dodgers, Blue Jays, Phillies, Braves, Cubs, Red Sox were among those present, and he's been in contact with Toronto. Now, you've heard some rumblings that Toronto was the one that's going to be in on him. I'm indifferent on this, guys. Let's break down the numbers here. Max Scherzer in 2023 was fantastic for the Mets. I think our lasting memory was him imploding in the wild card round against the Padres. I was at the game. I'm sure some of you were at that game. But, Max Scherzer was a big reason the Mets got to where they did in 2022. 23 starts, 145 in third innings, 2.29 ERA. The issue is he's gotten older and he's imploded since then. On the right side, you see where he's kind of gone downhill. 2023, 19 starts with the Mets. Then they traded him for the Rangers. Remember, that's the trade they got Luis Angel Acuna. Imagine them now in the same team. How funny would that be? 3.77 ERA. Last year, 3.95. 27 starts in 2023. Only 9 last year with injuries. You see the innings difference. You see the strikeout difference. And the age. The bottom, I put the age because that's a big factor. Max Scherzer will be 41 in July. You could argue with me, he's over the hill. He's an injury waiting to happen. And 2023 was a head case, and he said some crap about the Mets, and maybe people didn't like what he said. I would argue this. If you can get Max Scherzer on a team-friendly one-year deal, it would be a 1-year deal, obviously. It's not going to be any more. But if you can get Scherzer on, I don't know, a 1-year, $8 million deal, I don't know if he would take that much. He probably would want more, but he's coming off an injury. I'm not totally against it. I know a lot of fans, they remember the bad from Scherzer, but I do remember some good. And if he can give you one final year in the tank with a rotation that's back end has some question marks and, Frankie Montas and Griffin Canning and Clay Holmes trying to become a starting pitcher again, Sure, a healthy Scherzer could sure up one of those holes and give you a little bit extra depth. Now, I'd rather have Jack Flaherty if you can get Jack Flaherty, but I would not be that mad if they signed Max Scherzer. Let me know what you think about the comments. One, would you trade for Spencer Torkelson? Let me know in the comments. Also, Max Scherzer, do you have any interest in a reunion with Max Scherzer? It's Friday. Tomorrow, when you may be watching this, is Saturday. And it's Amazin day at Citi Field. I will see you there. I'll be there probably around 10 a.m. Looking forward to seeing everyone. If you're going, let me know. We'll be looking to get some content for the show. And if you're wondering what it is, the first time the Mets are doing it, essentially there will be autograph sessions with some current and former Mets. Lindor will be there. Nimmo, Soto's going to be there later in the day. There's a press conference photo in Mini Mets Museum. There'll be MLB The Show games you're going to be able to play. There's PSA card grading. There will be Mets batting cages. There are live panels and podcasts, including Mets Pod. Jolly Olive's doing a panel with some Mets pitchers. It's kind of a cool interactive way for fans to be close to the 2024 Mets, be close to Steve Cohen will be there, Mike Piazza will be there. And it's kind of a cool way to be in the ballpark in the winter and get to go to exclusive areas that you may not have been before. Now, I've been everywhere. I'm like the mayor there. But if you're an average fan, you get to go into suites. You can get to go into clubs that you haven't been to. You get to go to the batting cages that the Mets hit out of. There's a lot of cool, fun things for kids and for people who maybe don't get to experience those cool kind of luxury clubs often. You get that chance. So it's going to be a great day on Saturday. And Pete Alonso or not, have fun. Like, the Mets are going to be a good baseball team in 2024. Trust Stearns, trust Cohen, and trust the Mets. And trust that we'll be back on Monday. And maybe even Sunday for a special, we'll have some shorts. We'll have some content for Mets Daily. So we might have some Sunday content as well for Mets Daily. But the regular show, we'll be back here first thing Monday. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you smash that thumbs up. I'm Jake Brown, at Jake Brown Radio on all social media. Give me a follow as well. We'll see you at Amazin Day. Hope you have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe. Enjoy the championship weekend football. We'll talk to you Monday right here